Today I'm going to show you my Maria preset pack for the AxeFx III. You might have recognized that I put out a couple of high-gain preset packs for modeling units, the cheaper ones like the NUX MG-30, Valeton GP200, what else, DNA FxGit, Hotone Ampero, the Mooer Ge300, G200 and so on. And today I would like to show you one which I did for the Fractal Audio AxeFx III, my personally favorite modeler. And you can get all these preset packs if you contact me on Messenger or Facebook for few money. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, let me open the editor for you. It's here. And I'm going to show you some of the presets that come with the pack. They feature, well, a couple of high gain amps. You may know, like the Triaxis Soldano, Patricia, Friedman, but of course the favorite ones like the, or the famous ones like the Recto, Savage, the JVM, and also VH4. And it starts off with my favorite one, which is the Atomica High. And as always, I don't need I don't want to match certain tones. Instead, I would like to get the best tones out of each model, which I can get. It sounds best to my ears. And let me briefly show you how these presets are built. So you may know that you have 8 scenes here, and each scene has a certain name. So it should start off with the second scene if you load the preset, which is called Ping Pong. It's basically a lead scene with a ping pong delay. And yeah, here you have basically the effects which are in front of the amp. Here's the amp and the cap section. And here you have the effects that are after the amp. And I didn't turn on these effects here, except the compressor and the parametric EQ, which I will show you in a second. So starting off with scene 1, it's always the rhythm scene, usually. No delay, but the enhancer, which makes the stereo widener effect. So you can turn that off if you don't like it. But I like it at least when playing at home. And then you have the reverb, which is also turned on always, I think. And you have a multiband compression, which should compress only these frequencies here, the 90 Hz until 350 Hz if you are chugging. You see it's moving, but if you're playing higher leads, nothing is happening. So it's a little bit compensating the dynamics when chugging. And what else? The second scene, as I said, it's the ping pong lead scene. And here, sometimes the enhancer block is engaged, sometimes not. So yeah, it's how I like it in that sound. And in the amp section, yes, C1, C2 are using amp channel 1. And you have my settings here, and of course in the preamp section also some advanced settings which I usually use, so you can check them out. In the output section usually I have here the lower mids raised dynamically when you're playing higher notes, to fatten up the tone a little bit and the higher registers. If you're playing lower notes, nothing is happening. So that is done with a pitch follower. You can check that out. It's a nice effect, I think. And scene 3 is usually a crunch scene with a kind of Petrucci-like delay setting. You can check that out. It's using a dual delay here with this setting. And usually another amp channel, which in most cases it's the same amp, but dialed in a little bit different with less gain. And then the enhancer block, usually I'm here varying to the stereoizer. This is a little bit of another whiner effect, I think. And that is basically the same in all these presets. So they're built in the same way. And scene number 4 is a light crunch scene, which should be more or less similar in every patch, because I'm focusing mostly on the high gains, as the name says. Scene 5, it says delay Ingvi. It's basically the same like the lead button, with another delay setting. Like you have this Ingvi-ish repetition if you're playing like Ingvi. Also stereo delay. By the way, all these patches are made for stereo usage, so you should check them out in stereo. Scene 6 is my clean scene, designed for the split neck pickup or single coil in the neck pickup. And in that scene I'm using a compressor and also parametric EQ to shape the sound of the guitar. Here, as you can see, they're engaged, and that is, I think, also the same in each patch. And the chorus is engaged here. Scene number 7 is sometimes varying. Here I turn on the phaser. Sometimes I engage the wah, I think, but you can try out these effects by yourself if you like them. And scene number 8 is shimmer, clean. Basically also like the clean, with the compressor and the parametric EQ, but with a nice shimmer delay. Also very nice and very effective if you use it live, in a live situation. And that is how these patches are basically set up. But of course the amps are varying. One very important thing is the cap section. I would like to point that out, that I'm using my own caps here, which I created. And so I will export, or you will get these patches as a cap, I think cap amp bundle or somehow, where the caps are included. But I'm basically using different IRs here. I think it's in most patches it's this IR, but there's one patch where I'm using another. So let me show you some sounds. So that was the Atomica High patch. We have one here called Dana FxGit course. Which is basically something where I was tone matching my favorite sound from the Harley Benton DNA FxGit. Just I thought sounded pretty snappy. So I think it's also using the Atomica High, but with a totally different cap. Then we have the VH4. Very full and rich sounding. And here, for example, some kind of white crunch tone. And what else do we have? Well, we have a shitload of amps here. For example, the 51, 53. And what else? One of my favorite Marshall amps in this unit. And that may sound similar to you, but in your studio environment you can hear the subtle differences of each amp model very clearly. It's really nice, I think. JDM, and we start with the rhythm tone. And I took the amps which I personally liked, but I have to say some of them I had to tweak really much in the also in the these settings here in the preamp section. I don't know about this amp, if I tweaked this amp very much, but there are some amps, especially I think the Triaxis and Soldano, which need a lot of work. We have the rectos. And angles. Rhythm scene. So really fast attack. Let me disengage the enhancer. It's a great amp. And some other rectos. Of course, this 5150. Kind of a metalcore tone. Very chuggy, and more traditional things like the plexi, nice for leads. Maybe here you should try out the where is it, the Ingwe delay. And also here, of course, you should always check out the C number 3, especially with these these amps which sound really nice in a crunchy situation, like the plexi or also the recto. Very dynamic amp. and then of course we have the Friedman amp. This is one of the amps that is really, I think the, how do you say it? It's an evolved version of the JCM 800. Really with much more gain, but also with some nice low end. And that was also one amp which I cranked really much, I think. You can see this maybe here, especially the input section. We're cutting lots of the signal which is entering the amp, cutting the lows, but more I'm cutting the highs here. So yeah, you can check that out and maybe find out what I'm doing. And also we have the American amps here, like maybe the Patricia JP200 Plus. Very nice singing amp. And this amp is of course using the Mesa 5-pin graphic EQ here. If it's too mid-heavy for you, you could dial out the 750 Hz a little bit. If you want more crunch, then maybe this fader here, the 2.2K, will do it for you. And also Scene 3 is using the, what was it? Still using the Atomic High, which is a mistake, so maybe we could create here on the fly the scene number 3 now with the JP200 Plus, but usually with less gain. So what we will do is we will reduce this here. There you have it. Maybe here we would dial out a little bit more of these. Well, I think I've changed these here. For leads, I wouldn't set it so drastically because it can you can use a little bit more mids, I think. But anyway, and one of my favorites, the Soldano here. Very sad lead tone. Dialing some codes here for this 80-ish locator sound. I don't know, forgot how the solo went, but and one amp which is often overlooked, the Triaxis, great preamp, my favorite analog rack preamp. Really snappy tone. Reminds me a little bit of the Metallica load reload era where they were using this preamp. So they called this Triaxis load. To turn off the enhancer. And this was the amp which took by far the most tweaking, I think. Of course, also the Mesa 5-tone graphic EQ is used, but here I had to cut the frequencies here a lot. Also, I'm using a special kind of boost here, and yeah, of course, I was playing around with these things here. That's a pre-gain tone stack, so you have to use these knobs here to boost the signal that goes into the amp. It's totally different to dial in a good tone here than you would do with them Freeman or Marshalls. But once you know what you're doing, then it sounds really kick-ass. And yeah. Also, you know this maybe from the 90s Dream Theater albums, like the, what was it called? Falling Into Infinity, and the Once in a Lifetime live video. Patricia is playing this. Flight of the Bumblebee. I think they really nailed this Triaxis preamp. I own the real amp, and yeah, it has a very unique tone, but you have to know how to use it, and then it sounds kick-ass. And yeah, most of the other modeling units, they don't come with Triaxis, so I had to give it a try here. And that's basically what you're getting if you purchase my preset packs on, yeah, always the best high gain amps in these units, and then tweaked to my taste. If you like my sounds in the videos, they're exactly the ones which I use here. Which you get in the preset pack, and yeah, so please give me a message if you want one, and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.